Little explanation of what we're doing. We're going to change direction a little bit. I read an email where it was actually on my Facebook page about a friend of mine who said he mentioned post-traumatic stress disorder, the victims of it, and somebody needs to help them. Well, I read that and I shared it on my own site, and I didn't put any comment to it because in my own mind, I was helping by sharing the information. But then all of a sudden during the week, I felt prompted. Some people use the word called. And so I began to study this, and I said, God, is this something you want me to do? Share what your gospel says about obsession and oppression of the mind, will, and emotions? So anyways, I just kept going. Then all of a sudden, one day, I was working at work, and I felt prompted. The Lord says, help my people. And I knew right then that that's what God wanted me to do, not just for PJ. So I'm going to share with you. So I read a little bit about post-traumatic stress disorder, a lot. I read a lot about it. And then I realized something as I was reading all the symptoms, and I'll read to you what I have here on the, well, if you just go to Wikipedia, it says post-traumatic stress disorder is a mental disorder that can develop after a person exposed to a traumatic event. And without getting into the details, that traumatic event can be anything from sexual assaults to warfare, traffic collision, child abuse, something done to you, something you did to others, thoughts that are harassing you and you don't want to think about them, feelings, emotional depression, dreams that harass you at night, robbing you of your sleep. You get a fight or flight system, it says. These symptoms can last more than a month or after an event. Young children are less likely to show this. The people who may experience this traumatic event most people don't develop symptoms. Remember, they're using medical terms. But I think this is spiritual. This is not necessarily medical. And I applaud our medical people. Any help for anybody, either medicine or counseling or psychology is good. But if you're not treating the cause, I think you're missing the mark. This is what I'm finding out. So after I read it, and most people don't experience it, but assaults or people in war seeing horrific things that they can't even bear to share, let alone remember, but they can't unremember something they've seen, so this haunts them. And like a harassing thorn in the soul, something might remind them and trigger them, and they go back into depression or fight or flight, or they go silent, they go to doctors, they go to psychologists, psychiatrists, they get medication, and a lot are helped, but most are helped through talking, is what I found out from the website. Most are from Wikipedia. Most are helped through counseling. But then I also see that the church, and I put that, or Christianity, deals very little about it in our messages. And when we talk about the gospel concerning post-traumatic stress disorder, it's something they share, and but they don't share the reality of the reason why people have this. And most of us have gone through this. If you'll think back in your own childhood, there are things that you don't want to remember. Well, that's kind of like post-traumatic stress disorder, but especially our soldiers coming back from war. Well, you know what? Post-traumatic stress disorder and the Bible. What does the Bible say? Well, there's several thoughts I have. One is something called spiritual warfare. The Bible calls it spiritual warfare. And we take that term in the Christian realm, we think they're wackadoo people. But remember, Jesus in Luke chapter 4, the first thing he did was battle the enemy, Satan, the devil, and his kingdom, his underlings all throughout. It's not Satan doing it to you necessarily, but through his underlings there are certain things that he can harass, oppress. And I don't want you to think of this as some kind of an exorcist movie, green vomit, that kind of thing. It's a very real. What if I could share with you that what you might be going through is an entity kind of like a sniper who stays hidden, but he hits his intended target. Well, that's what I'm thinking this is. A lot of this post-traumatic stress disorder or even depression, a lot of this comes from an enemy. It may not be you. You're not weak of mind. You're not different than other people. You should not be ashamed. You are somebody Jesus died to set free, and I'm going to show it to you. I want to give you hope. Yes, I believe in our counselors and such, and even medication to a certain extent, but even Wikipedia said there's no evidence that the medication is as effective as just talking it through. So I'm here to share with you there is hope. It can come immediately, it can come over time, but the Bible calls it renewing the mind. And first and foremost, we have to share with you two basic principles of what the Bible teaches. Most of us are harassed by weaknesses or sins, as we call it, or things that happen to us or we've done to others, and we can't get rid of the guilt complex, so we'll run to psychiatrists or counselors or medication. Some use alcohol to deaden the pain. Some are workaholics to deaden the pain. Some withdraw to deaden the pain. Because it's not that they don't love people, it's they can't stand what's going on inside. I'm here to tell you, Jesus Christ of Nazareth died for you. He set you free from the wicked one. Yes, I did say it. There is an entity, the wicked one, the devil, who is a fallen angel, who has a 1/3 of a heavenly angel sent out into the world. And a lot of them, whether you believe that the fallen angels are demonic or whether demons are separate, that's an argument that could be made. But I'm telling you, what you're going through may not be your fault. It was what you went through in war or in a horrific event in your life was not your fault, or something you may have done to others because of our own fallen nature. You can still be free. Peace I leave unto you. Come unto me, all ye who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. That's what Jesus said. And I'm ashamed, and I have to apologize for us in Christianity who speak the gospel as it can grow new limbs on the Bible and physical healing. But what about mental healing? We don't like to talk about that. There's a certain air that we don't want to mention that we have mental illness. Well, all of us have mental illness, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. It's the soul. I wrote down something here, and I was trying to find it, and I can't find it now. Yeah. And here it is. This thought came to me this morning. What pain is to the body, depression is to the soul. PTSD, fear, horrifying memories is to the body. Jesus come to set you free. I want to go to Luke chapter 4. And matter of fact, Jesus was just beginning his ministry. And it says, afterwards, the Holy Spirit led him into the wilderness. We know that story. And being tempted 40 days and 40 nights, we fasted for 40 days without food. Then it says, the devil said unto him, now wait a minute. Jim, do you believe in the devil? Yes. Why do you believe that there is a devil? Because the Bible teaches that there is. Now, the devil doesn't want you to believe in him. He's that sniper off in the wilderness. You're being hit by the devil's darts or arrows or shots out of the darkness, and you think it's something in the physical world, something wrong with you. And those people who don't understand or believe in God, they do the same. So they try to counsel, which is a good thing. Iron sharpens iron. But if you want to be free, you got to go to the one who created the soul. He knows exactly how you're made. He created all human beings alike, mind, will, and emotions, in his image. He knows how to heal you. But Satan, the devil, has come. He's here, and he's not done with yet. His time has not yet come, but it's coming shortly. So the devil came unto the Son of God and said, you command the stones into bread, wanting to use his divine power to turn stones into bread for his own personal satisfaction because he was hungry. Well, Satan does that a lot. Jesus could have done that. Just like he said, he could have called 10,000 angels to set him free from the cross. But he gave up his own will for the will of the one who sent me. And Jesus said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. There it is. Truth. PTSD and those who have suffered through horrific events in their life have hope in Jesus Christ. How? By talking through and renewing the mind with truth. It can be done.